Okay. The first thing that I want to do is make sure that I have arachnophobia mode turned on because I don't like spiders. Okay? So you can turn arachnophobia mode on. It changes all the spiders to crabs. So that is yeah. So welcome. This is Hytale. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna leave the oh good, it's nighttime. I don't want to leave. Okay, we're gonna stay in here for a bit until it's daytime. What if I'm scared of crabs? Oh no. Look, there's a guy right there. I don't know what he is. He's definitely scary looking. He looks like he's coming my direction. So I don't want oh, I'm on fire. Whoops. Oops. I did not realize that I was standing in fire. So way to go, me. Keep the door closed for now. But yes, Clumsy Saku count 1. Yep. So it's a blocky survival crafting game that was created by a couple of people that were modified or modded the one of the biggest Minecraft modded servers in basically in the world, I would say. When Minecraft or Microsoft changed the EULA, the end user license agreement, to kind of limit their ability to monetize their server, they decided to create their own version of the game. And so this particular game is heavily inspired by Minecraft, as you can see, but with a lot of quality of life changes to it. One of them being the ability to mod the game is like significantly easier. So there's going to be a fairly large modding community for this game, as well as they're still in early access for the game. So I'm still nighttime. Look at this. Oh, it's so dark you can't see it. Hang on. Can I like increase the thingy for you? How do I like make it so that you can see better? Can I add a filter? It's like a color correction? No, not color correction. What about like brightness? As audio filters. I don't care about those. Because the audio comes in different. There's actually over Alia, there's a lot that aren't on CurseForge. There's over 2,000 mods right now for this game. Like it's bananas, but a lot of them still have yet to be like approved for CurseForge. But yeah, there's actually way more than what's on CurseForge. Color correction? Let's see. Can we... Oh, here we go. Brightness. Ooh! Okay, that's a little too much. Nope. Okay, that might be a little bit better for you guys to see. Zephyr, thank you so much for the 85 months. Okay, what do you think? Can you see the stars? Yes? Are those stars or are they your eyes? So if I go outside right now, I'll die. Like, straight up. Because I don't have, any weapons. So, I'm gonna hide in here for a minute to make sure that I don't die. I could build stuff in here, but I want to, this is the spawn, like, for the entire server. So, if I just take everything out of here, then that means that nobody else is gonna have access to any of it. So... I still don't think it's as bright as what I can see. Actually, yeah, it is. Okay, no. It's just the wrong monitor. This monitor, I guess, is a little darker. That guy will eat me for breakfast. I don't know what the symbol is on the left-hand side of my screen. Okay, maybe if okay, it's dark. Maybe, nah, we don't want things going in there. Maybe we'll go outside and hopefully not get attacked by things, okay? So, what we do in this is, there's... Actually, I don't even know if this carries over stuff from the other game, like the other server. There is a creative mode, yep. So, I'm in the seedling woods right now. One of the other cool things is you can climb up walls, right? You can actually, like, if I am like, ah, shoot, I can't reach. You can jump and you'll actually climb up the wall. Rather than, like, yeah. It's super dark. It would be great to be able to... Oh, no. Is that an enemy? Technically. Okay, I must... Okay, so what I'm seeing is that... So I've played a little bit of this before to test it out before I played it on stream. And even though I'm on a different server, it seems like I keep... There's, a particular thing, it's called memories that you get by walking by creatures and stuff like that. And it looks like I keep mine. So also, this is my character. Look how cute I am. Or wait, no, it's because I haven't found the Forgotten Temple yet. Okay, yeah. Yeah. So I need to explore to find the Forgotten Temple. But also at the same time, I need to not die. And it's dark. And it feels like it's gonna be dark for a long time. So I should probably, like, build something. Maybe I'll build something inside of the house. So that people have some stuff if they spawn in the dark. Yeah, my character is adorable. She's got... I may have made her based off of cherry blossoms. But she's got strawberries on her shoes, okay? Look at how cute. I need sticks, but I can't see because it's dark. Wait, how do I make a torch? Ugh. Tree sap and sticks. Okay, I guess we punch trees. River! Thank you! Thank you so much for the raid! So, want to see something else cool? Well, you probably can't because it's dark as heck. You chop down the bottom and it chops down the whole tree! Yo, welcome in, welcome in! I am having a great day. We just lost a race, but that's fine. And now we're playing, yeah, we've got actual physics in the game a little bit. Welcome in. Welcome in. I don't know if I can get around the fact that trees don't float. So this on the map you'll see at the top in the middle of the screen, I say map, will say spawn. This is where the spawn for the entire server is. And if we look at our map, which is built in, we can take a look at all of the areas around. So you can see there's a thing here. It looks like this is where we're probably going to need to go. So we'll probably head that way so that we can continue our stuff forward. Built-in map, yeah. Built-in map and exploration and all this other stuff. So again, I'm not really doing anything too crazy. Right now, my main thing is that I'm prepping the server for other people to join. So it's just gonna be like some stuff in here for people to be able to survive. Like if they spawn in at nighttime, right? I want to be able to make sure that if people come into the server during the night, that they're not gonna just immediately die. So just some food and some tools and a campfire, and yeah, they can go from there, right? Well, welcome in, Raiders. I'm Saku. I play a lot of randomizers, and survival crafting game is like... Randomizers and survival crafting games are kind of my main thing now. I really love these. I think they're so much fun. If we can get a shout out, please, for River. River it's fantastic. I met River in a VTuber maze race, and yeah, it's been, thank you so much. I love this. I loved the 3 people doing the shout outs. You're amazing. No, don't apologize. I think that's great. I'd rather have more people do it than nobody. So thank you. Reminder, if you're interested in the game, that I have a code Saku. If you are wanting to give this a try, you know, code Saku is if you purchase it, don't forget to use my code. Helps me. I get commissions if you do pick it up. Pick up some more rocks. More rocks. Punch, punch, punch. Code of honor. I heard a rumor that you can upgrade your edition of the game after you purchase it, like down the line. I believe that is correct, yes. You got the middle pack to reserve your name. Gotta chop down the tree. And the creator code can be used on the upgrade. Yep. Just casually punching trees. I do have some strong fists. I feel like if I did this IRL, I would probably not have fists anymore. See, I'm wondering if, I'm wondering at what point it determines whether or not it's floating or not. Because, there's grass around here, right? So, like, it might be that... Okay. That answers that. It considers that floating. I was wondering if it was possible that it would just, you know, not consider that floating because it was, you know, surrounded by that. But, yeah. Pick everything up. Whoa. But yeah, we're setting up the oh, can we change the category? Oh, you did already. Can you also change the title? To say, setting up community server. I think that this guy despawned, the big guy. So, we'll get some berries from the bush. Yeah, they really do. The trees go super deep. Okay, so we're back here again. We want a chest. We're gonna craft a chest. And we're gonna put it here. And I'm gonna put some sticks in here so that if people need to cook food, that they can. And craft one of these. I don't want to make things too easy. I just want to allow people to survive, basically. Hopefully they just put it back or replace it. Thank you, Twinborn. Okay, so we'll place that there. All these other things can go up in the inventory. So there's a couple of great things that we have available, okay? So first things first, we have our objective. Right now, find the Forgotten Temple to learn more. So I'm going to also craft some torches and I'm going to put them in my offhand. And you can have multiple things in your offhand. So if you want a torch and a shield or whatever else, then you can do that. And you can carry around something else. Which is pretty fantastic. So, built-in map, something of interest, which I know is going to be something that I need to go do. So, let's go explore. And hopefully not get attacked by things along the way. Mud. Like, it sounds squishy. Right? You can cut bushes with knives in order to get fiber. And plant fiber is used for a lot of things, so it's very good. Ooh, fancy mushroom. Look! Look, it's rabbits! There's a big test tube. Yeah, I mean, sometimes you got, yeah. Also, ooh, Streakin', nice Vidmere. Look, we can swim underwater with fire. Come back here. I need fish. Come back here. I don't want anything to do with any of those guys. I've never run into those guys before, and I don't think I want to. Alright, so now, look at the derpy piggies. These aren't piggies, these are warthogs. There's a difference because there's actual piggies in here. So, now you'll notice on the map, if you get close to something of interest, like a point of interest, then it will put another thingy on your map. Now, the other important thing is as you move around the map, you won't have the full, like, it's always a circle around where you are. So the area that you explored, let's say if I was up here, I would have more visible up here. There is a mod that you can have that's called Better Maps or something like that will allow you to save your explored map, but it takes a minute to load in. But if it's something that you're interested in, I definitely recommend, you know, that way it shows the entire area that you've explored. It's smaller. It's definitely smaller in, like, it won't show you the whole area, like the big circle like this does. It's a lot smaller, like about this size, just like this zoomed in. But it'll stay permanently. So when you load into like a server or something, you can have that, you can open the map. It'll automatically like start loading all the map that you've explored kind of thing. I think it's pretty good. But yeah. So we're going to here. I don't know that anything over there is safe, so I'm not going to go over there. Hey, Kevlar, welcome in. Is that a bear? That's a bear. I'm not worried about the bears. I can take on a bear. I'll probably die if I get hit, but yeah. 10 consecutive watch streak. Nice. Ah, here we go. So, oh, I remember. Yep. Look, I can sit. You beam. My toes. All right. Ruby was making weird noises behind me. One of the things, though, is we need to get in that portal, and there's kind of a big guy in the way. So we're gonna have to do some casual murder here. This guy will respawn. So if you're worried about killing him, don't worry, he comes back. Oh, God. I didn't think he reached that far. I don't know how much health you have. Ow, 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 ow! Okay. Well, I died. Let's go back and get my stuff. I didn't think that he was going to spin to win. Well, that's 10% durability on my items. But I don't care. That escalated quickly. Yep. Don't worry, it's fine. Weird. I found light hide there. Somebody killed something. I don't want any... Oh. Oh, that's a bear. I'm assuming that's what killed something. Okay. But yes. Reminder. Code Saku if you want to get the game. And also make sure we have a Hytale channel in the Discord. Make sure to put your picture of your character and oh, that's a spider. But he looks like a crab. Yeah, venom sac. See? Told you it was a spider. I know it doesn't look like one, but yeah. Oh. Alright, I don't know if this guy heals or if I can just keep beating him up based on what happened last time. I want my stuff back. Okay, go away. Rude. Oh god, no, not again. Go away. You also get, like, abilities. Oh, nice, we did it. I say we, but I did it. You get abilities that are on cue. So, that was an attack based on my weapon. What if you only fear spiders that look like crabs? Then I would recommend not putting on arachnophobia mode. I'm gonna leave that because I don't need it. But yeah, so this is a portal. And in this, basically in Hytale, there's instanced areas. So this portal here will take you to a different instance. So you'll see like Sakura Tsubasa has joined Forgotten Temple, which is like my instance version of this area. And so, yeah. But if you're on the server, then, you know, you'll be in this part, right? You can't steal anything inside the Forgotten Temple at all. It is all locked. See, it says Sakura Tsubasa has joined world. Right? So you'll see people constantly like coming and going if they're going through like the portals and other things like that. So, yeah. Like in here, you could probably take them. But I don't know. 'Cause I don't have, yeah. I don't have a pickaxe, and I don't want to break it. So this is kind of like step one of the game. Coming here and doing stuff here. Look at how pretty this area is. And yes, the monster will respawn. That is the other thing. So don't die. It's a decently long respawn timer. But yeah. Where it just says spider in text, Alia? Yeah. So, you come here. You can talk to these guys. They'll wave at you. And they're adorable. But you can't do anything here at all. You can't, like, you can't break anything. You can talk to this guy. You can give him an under construction sign, and he'll give you an under construction sign. And this one you'll get like essence for killing things, like monsters and stuff like that. And you'll be able to trade them for specific things from these vendors. But this is kind of like samples on what you can do for like houses and stuff. There's a lot of different things that you can build and place and everything else all in this game. And I think already like it's super pretty. So we come here. The whole reason why we're here is to talk to this thing. So we've unlocked memories. So this is important. Memories is one of the like critical things of the game. So when you walk next to a a creature, you see new memory collected duck. When you walk next to a creature, then you'll collect their memory, and you need a specific number of them in order to get farther ahead in the story. I'm not gonna show too much because I don't want to spoil it for people. I'm mostly just like, this is how the game starts. You kind of run around here, you pick up a bunch of memories, you try to get as many as you can, and the more memories you get, then, you know, blah, blah, blah. So... But yeah. As you walk by things, you'll notice, right, collected a new memory, collected a new memory, collected a new memory. Right, like all of these, you'll just be casually collecting memories. And if you go back to this thing, who's ready for the multi-world async? Oh yes, also if you want to participate in the multi-world, the async multi-world, that starts tomorrow. You have to get your YAMLs in now. I don't know if you even have time, but like if you want to participate, then yeah. Yo, have a good night, Soren. So we're gonna record these 6 memories. So now if we go back, you can see we've collected a small chunk. And you can see these, how many of each of these little categories we've gotten. So we got the duck from the avian group, which I find is probably gonna be the hardest one to get unless I can fly. But yeah, there's just a whole lot of memories. That's mostly the thing to do at the beginning is search for enemies, search for stuff. So what I'm gonna do is, instead of going and doing any kind of like fancy stuff, I'm gonna find a place to build a house because I want to build a base. So, this guy isn't back yet, thankfully. It takes a while for him to come back, but he does. So... Alright, let's take a look at where we want to go. Oh, hello. See, I don't know if there's anything that will attack me in the water, and I'm kind of like a little bit worried to find out. But I need to find a place to build a home. But I also don't want it to be a place that can be like, you know, grab all the things. Okay, so now that we went to the other place, the Forgotten Temple, now we're getting, when we collect berries and stuff, we're getting Essence of Life, which will we'll be able to trade in for other stuff. You might still be able to get your stuff in for an Aleve. So the berries regrow as long as you don't destroy the bush. So I like to grab as many of them as possible because then I can make food. For some reason, I think the berries, you can cook them and they become vegetable on a stick. Which I feel like they're not vegetables, but maybe it's something else that becomes vegetable on a stick. You do need sticks for it, though. There's holes in the wall there. MT, I'll tag you in it. It's in the video game section. Everything is in the video game section. Which I think right now is... I've pinned the... Yeah, it's the second one from the top. The There's general video game thread, and then right underneath it is Hytale. We got wheat. Oh no, it's wheat that's cooked vegetable. That's the one. Hey, it's a frog. Why aren't you a memory? I'm still looking for a place where I want to live. But also I'm looking for a place I want to live that doesn't, like, you know, have things that are gonna eat my face. Okay, I'm gonna fight this guy because I think he's gonna lose. Oh, God. Ah, he's not losing. No. I'm losing. Can I just eat the berries? Where's the berries? You plan on heading for the blue area? You mean the, like, this area? Or like this area? Or like this area? Or like this area? I'm just healing. Because if I don't, I'm going to die. I'm thinking maybe I go over here. This looks like kind of like a little bit rocky area. Which I like marble, so I'm probably gonna build over there. What about that area? I gotta wait, right? Okay, so like on the screen, you'll notice in the, like, this is the bar, right? The hot bar. On the far left, you'll see that there's a heart that's got a little green line that's going all the way around it. That's the regen time. That's the effect that, so you see my health bar is slowly going up, but you also get a burst of heal if you chew on the stuff immediately. What's that? That's probably like in the middle of the ocean. Ooh, seashells. Aw, man! Look, it's lobster! You know what they say about Saku and lobsters? I got raw fish. There's something green on there. But also that's real deep. I'm too scared. I'm too scared to swim in there. Throwing lobsters. I did not throw lobsters, that is true. Okay, can I craft a pickaxe? Yes. We'll craft a pickaxe. And my torch is not out, or my torch is not lit in my hand. That's rude. Uh-oh, sun's going down. I got distracted. I wasn't going the way that I wanted to go. Yeah, where was I wanting to go? Over here. Okay, we're going this way. I'm probably going to get hecked. Hey, Des, welcome. You can pick up all the flowers, too. There's not a lot that I know about this game in terms of, like, what you can craft and do and whatnot, because I'm still really new to it. But, most of the stuff right now is just collecting memories. Ooh! I wonder if this is bad guys. Pick up rocks. See you, MT. Take care of yourself. It's nighttime. Hopefully this is not scary. Oh. Oh. Bats! Yeah, roast vegetable. Oh, this guy's bad guy. Raw wild meat. You know, this isn't too bad for a house. I'm not collecting anything because I want other people to be able to explore and stuff. I'm mostly like looking around at the stuff that I can build so that I can keep track of stuff. So one of the things I know that this game needs badly is windows. There's currently no way to make glass windows. There we go. There's a village. Okay, yeah. I'm definitely building in here, for sure. Don't attract the attention of the doggos. You have regular windows, but not glass windows. Or at least I didn't see that there was glass windows. I mean, there was just an update, so... I'm gonna take this apple. Cancel. Why do you look sad? Is it because I took your apple? I'm sorry. I'll put it back. Here, I'll put it back. As soon as I figure out how. I can't. I can eat it. I don't want to eat your apple in front of you. Is it because I stole the apple? Why are you running away from me? Why are you hiding? Are you shy? Am I a terrible person? Oh, look, you're happy. What do you want to trade me for? Spices, salt, dough, wild berry salad, yum. Winterberry bush. Wow, that's a lot of... I have 23. I need 50. Wait, I have 23 essence? Oh, wow, I do. So this is also fiber that I can get. And grass. Oh, no. I don't want to go over there yet. That's right where I want to go. No. Okay, we'll fight this guy. I would like some actual like armor and whatnot, but I need to dig. So yo, have a good night, Severin. There's a guy over there. He's kind of yikes. I don't have a way to fight him, so I'm hoping that he stays over there. Because I don't want to deal with him. There's lights over here. I don't want to deal with you either. You may ask a question about the game. Yes, of course. If I know the answer, I will tell you. Oh, that's an enemy that I don't want to deal with. Okay, we just need to get across the water. So we have a stamina bar. I gotta stop using so much of. Okay, this is where I want to build, right here. Okay, well. I'm in danger. I'm in big danger. Ah, I'm in real big danger. Woo! Run! 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 Eat! Eat berries! Eat berries! Oh! Oh! Eight, if your question... Oh, jeez. Oh, they're dying from lack of oxygen. Okay. Well, thank you for your loot. So it turns out the doggos can't swim. I'm also half dead. And by half dead, I mean more than half dead. Oh, no. You are here. No, go away. I did not want you here. The amount, if your question is about the amount of memory, it really depends on how many mods you have installed, right? Can my potato battery computer run it? I would recommend looking at the minimum required specs of the game and then compare it to what you have. I won't know what your computer can run. That's something that you're probably going to have to look up. There should be a minimum stat requirement somewhere visible. On the website, yeah? Oh, Scarth, are you here? Can you change the category on YouTube? Can we please just finish healing? Oh, you already did? Okay, for some reason on my screen it didn't mark down that it was done. But yeah. I do not have the thingy on the screen. Well, we don't need to, we don't need to have the one about the Link to the Past rando anymore. Okay. Heck. It goes off the screen. Is this the area that I want to be in? Yeah, but over this hill. I've got to be really careful because right now I'm like a sitting duck if something comes out and tries to kill me. Oh, goody. Oh, God. Oh, go away. Go away. No, stay away. Okay. What's with all these worms? Get rid of all this. I thought I just saw eyes. And that scared me. It's dark. Trying to get rid of all this, like, stuff. Trees. Get some cobblestone. Mossy cobblestone. Okay, I'm gonna build right here. There's definitely something over there. I'm scared. Look at how pretty the sky is, though. There's something glowing down. Oh, it's a mushroom. Okay, so. Where'd they go? So we'll put this down here. And this down here. This down here. And this down here. I don't think this is big enough. I mean, but also I'm a little extra with how I build things, so let's be real. I'm not surprised that it's not big enough. I thought I got rid of all this grass, and how there's more grass immediately. I just would like to build a house. Another worm! Let's kill it. Let's get rid of it. No worms allowed. I don't know if worms turn into something bigger. So I don't want you, like turning into something bigger. So we're getting rid of you now. Alright, so craft an axe. So one of the great things about this that I'm really excited for is the fact that modding it is going to be a lot easier than you know what I've experienced with other similar survival crafting games. I have a really cool idea for a mod that I want to build, but I'm not really great at it yet. I'm hoping that it's a little bit easier than some of the other stuff that I've seen. That's just regular cobblestone. Darn. I'm thinking I might need to make this one layer lower. So that I have a little bit more area to work with. So I'm gonna build a house here. Oh God, no. That thing will wreck me. Let's actually, you know what I need to do first? I need to make, oh shoot, that means I need to kill something. I need to kill an animal. But there's no animals here. And I have no torches. Ah! I can't make a bed, but if I die, I respawn 10,000 years away. Okay, this is definitely faster. Good morning, Alfie. Yeah, what I'm doing is I'm gonna be adding a mod to the server that's allows you to claim specific areas for your stuff in order to prevent like griefing and stuff like that. So once I have that in, then I will, like, once I have it fully set up, then I'm gonna, yeah, connect it. You're gonna be able to add people to your team. So let's say if you want to have, if you want to claim a chunk, but you want to claim it with a friend or, you know, a significant other or something like that, then you'll be able to add them to your team, and then you'll be able to play together. And you both have claim to the same chunk. You both can access the same chests, blah, blah, blah. Everyone on the same team can do that. Also, with it being early access, remember that there may be updates and there may be things that will like break and or whatever. So try to be patient. It is still a fairly new game. So okay, I thought I saw something over there, but it's just that guy. Dirt. I need to craft more torches. Just so that I can, like, see around here. Sometimes the light that it gives off just isn't enough, right? Like... Also, how are you doing, Alfie? I don't know if I've said hello or asked you how you're doing. So it looks like the if you join a server, if you've already gotten memories on a different server or on like a private game, it doesn't transfer over. So that's good to know. Man, this area is bigger than I thought. So all these tree things on the ground here. Trying to like fill out this area so that I can actually see in the dark. We're gonna have to go mining though, because if I'm building a house, I want it to be out of nice materials, and I'm a little bit weird with what I consider a nice material. But what I really badly need is a bed. Okay. I'm trying not to do like too much stuff besides building so that when you guys join the server that you'll be able to experience it for the first time without me spoiling it. So I'm mostly just kind of like building right now. Is that a piggy? Piggies! Excuse me. I need some hide. But also at the same time, I don't want to kill the piggies. I don't know if there's a way to breed you. Or like, get you to eat. I have wheat. Would you like some wheat? Hang on. Look. I have wheat. Come here. No. Oh no, I don't want to hit you. Hang on. How about Q? No, F? I'm not following you into a bush. Absolutely not. That's how you die. So, I have a broken pickaxe in my inventory that I will deal with later, but I can't deal with it right now. Oh, squirrel. Hang on. You might have, a hide. No? Wait, what? Rip the squirrel. I was hoping you would give me hide so that I could make a bed, but apparently not. I don't want to kill the piggy. I don't. I want them to become food. I have no berry bushes around here. Unless these are berry bushes and I'm just tearing them apart, in which case, big sad. Yeah, but I want them to become food because, like, oh, this is what I was looking for. Is this chalk or is this marble? Chalk. I need so much of this. Boop, 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 boop. This is gravel, yeah. This is why I built over here, because this is exactly what I was looking for materials for building. And having an area that is just full of the materials that I want to build with is fantastic. Ooh, Willow, that sounds amazing. Hey, Sparsivar. So yeah, one of the greatest things about this game is going to be the ability to, or not going to be, it's the ability to mod it so easily, which is fantastic because one of the great benefits of survival crafting survival crafting games in general is you know, the modding community around most of them. Do, 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 do. Keep on getting rid of all this stuff because I'm trying to build a house here. Hey, look, there's a duck. 2 ducks. Oh. Flattening land. Pickaxing the ground for days. Boom, 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 boom. So one of the cool things on this right now is the fact that there's no food or water requirements or anything else so like that. You do take damage, and of course, you know, healing is done by food. But there is a mod that allows you to have food and water as like, you know, that you need to eat so and so often. There's some that's like, you know, you have to sleep so and so often. There's excuse me, that was not my fault. Squirrel, you walked into my pickaxe. For some reason, that keeps scaring the pants off me. If you need a shovel, you just should have just asked me. I've got another pickaxe. We'll add this one to the pile. I like building. This is one of my favorite things. So, building and exploring, my 2 favorite things in games like this. So, I really want to make a mod for this game that has a benefit to exploring, like better, like more, let's say more ores, more different types of armors, more like items to get from loot, maybe some like minions that follow you around, maybe like let's say like mythical creatures like unicorns or dragons or you know, stuff like that. Like little baby ones, right? Not something big. But I worry that a mod that's that big would be really difficult to do, but also the bigger problem is I can figure out like the programming parts of it. I can figure out all that stuff. But how do I get like something to look like, you know, a pickaxe in this game, right? Like how do you get it to look like that? Do you have to hire an artist to do it? Or like how exactly do you go about doing something like that? 10,000 trees later. I'm just glad that there's no crazy enemies over here. Yeah? For some reason I thought that this... Why does this wheat keep coming back in here? Alright, let's, That's actually been brought up. Most mods for visuals can be done in Blockbench, which is a voxel art app. Taku, the trees fall all the way down when you chop the bottom, but if you do it a block in the ground, does it fall or float? No, it's, it doesn't float. Oh, a block of ground. Sorry. Okay, I see what you're saying. No, hang on. I see what you're saying. There. You're asking if a block of ground floats. Yes, it does. Sorry, I thought you meant the trees, specifically. But yes, the ground blocks will float, yes. Can you link me, Arrow, the information for that? Because I would love to create something. I have really big ideas. Which is normal for me. But I just, normally it's not knowing where to start. Still defies real physics? Yeah. I just want to flatten this area so that I can build a house. But also, we have, you know, this. Also, you take fall damage. I'm just in here looking for iron, apparently. I'm surprised that I'm finding iron so easily. It must be biome specific. Because the first time that I did this, I found a ton of copper. But no iron. I'm just gonna pick up some stuff and leave because I can't see anything because it's so darn dark. I wonder if enemies can follow you. Like, we can mount ground, right? Like, we can jump up and, yeah, we can climb up things. I wonder if enemies can do the same thing. There we go. All right, let's go find... I need to find... What? Okay, squirrel. I'm sorry. I thought you would drop something. Okay, no squirrel. Send... I'm assuming you said sent. Send to the page. They talked about it into DMs for later. They talked about how to make models for games and such. Okay. I need wheat. I need animals that aren't piggies. I don't want to kill a fox. But it looks like that be my answer. I'm sorry. 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 No, you didn't even drop hide. Oh, perfect. This is so fitting. It's raining. I was just looking for... I'm sad. I was looking for hide. I need to hide for... I need to hide for my stuff. What is this? That's dirt? That does not look like dirt. The world is sad and crying. Hey, hey, Galderon. Oh, it's thunderstorm. Be brave, Saku. Don't hide. I'm trying to be brave. Ooh, hello. But, oh. Okay. I need hide so I can get a bed. But all I got was meat. Jeez, I would really like to stop coughing my lungs out. Oh, I was supposed to take my medicine. My light inhaler. Hang on. BRB, 1 sec. 2 seconds. Oh, bam. That was fast. Thank you. It took like 2 seconds. This is my inhaler. I just don't like doing it on screen. Oh my god, I'm almost done flattening the land. Then I have to dig up 10,000 pounds of, stuff. So I have a pretty standard way of building things in survival crafting games that actually have, like, a way of having a 3D structure. Like this. And it is the 5 rule. The 5 and 3 rule. This is definitely not going to be enough torches. I'm hoping this makes it so things don't spawn everywhere, but yeah. So the 5 and 3 rule is basically that you should be building pillars out for your house every 5 blocks. And then, and then pick all this stuff up. So for instance, we'll build 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you have gaps. So, okay. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, oh God. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't remember what button I pressed in order to get this build. Like it's somewhere in the settings, I think. There's like gameplay, I think some sort of way to builder tools. Somewhere, I think display legend, I don't know. There's definitely something in here that allowed me to place blocks so that you can see. Maybe it's controls? No, it's definitely gameplay. Somewhere in here, it allowed me to place, if you're building, that you see the blocks and where they're being placed. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's not 5. Wait. Pickaxing that for days. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Boom. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ah! Yeah, I thought that was weird. Okay, so instead of this, we got 1, 2, 3. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 2, 3. Okay. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wha-bam. So now this is the structure of our house, which kind of might be confusing, but this is wall. This is wall. This is entrance, right? You have the entrance here. Which I probably should have done 6 instead of 5, but I don't know. I'll just have a single door. But I need more wood. Boop, 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 boop. The sound of dirt is really funny to me. Thunk, 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 thunk. You know, there's so many, like, animal sounds, and I'm like, is this something that's gonna try to kill me? But also, I need hide, and I'm pretty sure that's a jackrabbit. So, we're gonna go over there, and we're gonna have to try for murder, okay? Ooh, but also fox. A minnow? Come back here. Okay, we got fish. Hopefully they don't fight back. I'm sorry, I need hide. I need to go to bed. Yes, we got some. I'm so sorry. Oh, there's deer. Uh-oh, it's nighttime again. There was something here that I didn't notice, or that I did notice, but there was something over here that would really kill me. Ooh, birch logs. See, I do like birch logs. Honestly, that's what I would prefer to make my house out of, but I don't know where to find them. A rat? Ah! Oh, you drop light hide. I would have rather killed the rat. What? Actually. Boop, boop, boop. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, bam. Well, bam. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Eh? One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Did I do one extra? Oh yeah, I guess I did. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. One of the important things about building a structure in general, I think, is just like having like not a square shape, right? Like having different shapes, right? Don't build a square. This is why it looks so like odd from the beginning, is because yeah, it's a little odd. But that's because it's going to be 3, 4, 5. Yeah. It's gonna be a little bit more oh, there's a butterfly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Yeah. So now you just connect all of the rest of the outside of everything. Is the typical way to like build I feel like. This is normally how I build with stuff. It's just, like I said, the five rule. Something is gonna come slap me in the face. I can hear stuff, but it might just be the torches. I'm gonna build like a little bit of a different thing in the back, I think, but I just want to get a house up in general so that I can, you know, not die from just random enemies just coming to punch me in the face. I am a goof. It's dark again. This was actually for this. And this. And this. And this. You can also turn these into planks using the workbench, but I like the look of solid wood logs. Ah! Oh no. What have I been... Have I been using oak or ash or both? You know, sometimes I look through the trees and I see like the dot of the little circle on my screen and I get worried. Hang on. Okay, I am using ash logs. Good. I hope I've been using ash logs for everything. If you touch grass with this, it'll change the way that it's being placed. So that's why I cleared out all the grass from the area and the places that I was going to build it. But yeah. Alright, so now we have a wood chest. First thing we're doing is crafting a bed. Just a basic bed so that I can save my spot. My bed. So now I can go to bed. Sleepy time. Alright. Now if I die, I'll respawn here. Which is good. It's very foggy. Okay. Couple things we gotta do. Build a house. Priority number 1. So, chalk, marble cobble. I'm gonna go with marble cobble for the doorways and stuff. So we need to build a door, a nice one, or we can steal a door. I feel like stealing a door is better, but, you know, to each their own. Is that it? That's all I have for that? Okay. There's some really nice doors in this game, and it takes me a long time to figure out where to find them. But, yeah. Gosh, I'm already out of stuff. So the bad news is that things can still climb in the doors and the windows and everything else, all because we don't have enough stuff. The other bad news is my stuff is breaking again, so I'm gonna have to build another one. We're starting to really collect a lot of these old stuff. More chalk. I hear piggies. Aw, man. Alright, another axe bites the dust. Or pickaxe, I guess. The dog hair just landed on my nose. Is there any questions that anybody has so far about the game? Maybe about building? Maybe about anything? Maybe about the way that I build things? I'm trying to make space for windows, but I haven't found a way to make glass in this game yet. So I need 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 more chalk. But there is ways to make like your basic everyday windows. Oh, I found the piggies! They're in the little cave underneath my house. This is definitely more chalk than what I need, but I'm gonna grab it anyways. You can ledge grab, yep. Okay, cool. So next thing we're gonna need is a workbench. All right, workbench, super critical. We're gonna put it probably right here. So these are all the things that we can craft. So we have tools and all these other things. So you'll notice we have workbench, and then in here we can craft stuff for like a hay target if we want to like make, for instance, a thing to practice with or whatever shooting. There's rail carts and rails. There's a training dummy. There's wooden spike traps, so if you want to prevent enemies from coming near your base. One of the other things that we have is backpacks. So backpack is actually this slot right here. So you can craft a backpack and then you can upgrade it. And yeah, so backpacks are great, but they require some stuff that we don't have access to yet. But if we build some of these things, then we will. So we'll build a furnace, which we will place down. There you go. And we will place some sticks in here. So you want to see something else cool. We did get some iron. That's not really the thing that I'm going to point out here. But you turn on the furnace when you're ready to turn it on. Okay, watch the output section of the game. So you'll see here, now we have charcoal. So you burn the wood and you get charcoal, but you're not losing anything by doing it. You're getting the charcoal from just generically burning the wood. So you're not having to burn the wood to turn it into charcoal and then use that charcoal for fuel. You can just, yeah, do it directly like this. You'll now you have the charcoal, you'll be able to put it back in the furnace. So this is a pretty great thing. But yeah. So I'm gonna build a chimney up here, but I'm gonna build a couple of furnaces. What I'm gonna see if I can do is to like kind of make a little pit, so like a furnace pit. I haven't figured out how I'm gonna do it yet, but yeah. And it makes a little ding sound when it's done. So if I want to upgrade it to a tier 2 furnace, then I need all of these things. And each item, if you hover over it, says a common metal smelted from ore found throughout all regions of Orbis. And then the second one says, iron ingot, its natural abundance and reliable strength make this ideal candidate for fashioning common tools and weapons. But then this one, thorium, says, while Farrens do not themselves make use of this metal, they keep a vigilant watch over its deposits in the sun-scorched deserts and arid badlands. Should their age-old enemies rise once more, these reserves would be first they sought to harvest. So there is different ores in different regions, which I think is fantastic. I really like the ability, or I really like the fact that there's ores that are limited to specific biomes. It makes things, like, it makes it so that you have a reason to explore, right? Which I think is really good. Hey, Mernko! So we have a wooden chest that I'm just going to place right here. And I'm going to put the wood in it. A lot of wood in it. So you can see here now that there's a chest icon next to the sticks. And that's because it'll pull from local nearby chests, so you don't actually need to have it in your inventory. There is a limit, right? There's a limit to how close you can be, right? Or how close it can be, or how far it can be. But yeah. So now we go exploring for a cherry blossom biome? No. I don't think there is one in here. At least I haven't seen one. Although there's this, which I don't know what this is, but it looks like bad. Um, so yeah, pulling from nearby chests. Not only that, but in your inventory. Oops. I can sort items in my inventory. If I want to go to the chest and I'm like, ah, shoot, I have sticks in my inventory. Well, now I can just, now I can quick stack items, right, that are already in here. Or I can just take everything from my inventory and place it in a chest if I want to. So, yeah. That is not really the main thing that I want to do, though. What I did want to do is I wanted to build a builder's workbench. And that is because this is the workbench in which you will mostly be crafting furniture for your house. So... where do I want to put you? There? You'll go there. Alright, so let's take a look. What do we got for marble? Ooh. Ooh. Light temple door. So we got some windows. Let's try this on here. So these are what like the windows look like. There's not really like glass, but it's more like wood. So you can look outside. Oh gosh, climb up the wall. But I haven't found any item that makes windows. Right, you've got like I haven't found any item that makes clear windows. There's always like, you know, the simple wooden ones has the things on the inside. You can make iron bars and, you know, stacks of iron bars if you'd like to. You know, you have cobblestone that you can turn into other things. These you can change into, you know, the bigger gems and stuff like that. If you'd like to. You can see anything that you can put in here. It's all lit up. You can make rope. So if you're in this menu and something isn't highlighted, that means it can't be turned into something else. So, yeah. Like I said, I don't want to do too much stuff, but there's a couple things that I do want to craft, like a furniture workbench and a farmer's workbench. Because both of these are kind of important for what I'm doing. So you can build a lumberjack chest. So these are chests, beds. So you can make cute little beds. Lighting, different lighting sources. You have like pottery and stuff. You've got you know, like wool. Other miscellaneous items and seasonal stuff. So yeah. It's pretty cool. But you get more, you'll see here that you get more items if you get more memories. So yeah. I need more stuff. I need to put dirt somewhere. And you can have my... Oh, it's the shelf that I stole from them. Okay, hang on. You can keep the cobblestone too. You can keep this. And... I don't know what to do with this shelf because I didn't mean to take it. And then this will be all of the food related things. That's not food. Where's my wheat? Oh, there it is. Like, where'd it go? Regular grass, plant fiber. And then you can go there and you are this stuff. I think it's 6, Marco. I don't know. Like 6 blocks from chest to workstation. I think. But I'm not 100% sure. Somebody can correct me if I'm wrong. I just sorted instead of stacked. Oops. That's fine. We'll just leave that. That's okay. So I'm gonna need more windows and definitely floor. But the floor I want to make out of birch. And we don't have birch here at all. So you can plant seeds, but you'll notice when I picked up the wheat, I didn't get any seeds. One of the things that is important in this particular game is that you'll get essences as you harvest things. So, or kill things, depending upon what you kill. And those essences you'll be able to craft into something called eternal seeds. Which we don't have access to because I have not. I have not gotten enough stuff. And these eternal seeds will allow you to plant seeds that will perpetually give off food. So... at the moment, we don't have any. I don't like the fact that this looks like the drop items into box thing and it's actually the sort items thing. I'm gonna keep messing that up. Hey, Molly. Also, hey, Lanthier. Welcome in, both of you. But yeah, let's go. I guess let's go look for birch trees. And remember that trees and stuff won't grow back. When you cut them down, they're cut down. You can make seeds for trees, like saplings. In, you can make them in here. But yeah. You have to, some of this stuff requires you to level up the farmer's bench. If you want it, for instance. You can buy essence, or you can buy rice bag seed, but it requires you to have a tier 6 farmer's workbench. So that requires you to get some softwood logs or regular logs. Lettuce, and then 50 essence of life. So finding lettuce, other things, yeah. Requires you to do some exploring. Pick sunflowers, because you need those. Pretty much any food related stuff. We need a lot of sunflowers. Pick all the sunflowers. And the wheat. And every time I come over here, it rains. Oh wait, it's not raining. One of these days I'm going to come up to this wall. There's going to be something on the other side of it. Like sheep. What did I do now? What indeed, Rain? Oh, hang on. Iron. I have sheep nearby. What are you doing here? Ow. Bone fragments and linen scraps. How is that guy here? During the day. I did not bring food with me. Has anybody else picked up the game so far? I'll place it down. I can't place down stuff. The main thing is, like, it's important that everybody be respectful and not just go ham and start murdering everything and collecting everything. Oh yeah, the whole reason I came here was to craft something. So... Furniture builder's workbench, armors, blacksmiths, copper ingot, tanning rack, chef's stove. There's definitely... I thought that I could craft... Oh, hey, it's a shovel. I thought that I could craft something... Not you. Not you. Not you either. Is It's probably copper that's holding me back. Yeah, 2 copper ingots. I need 2 copper ingots. So I need to go down. I need to go down into the mines looking for copper. So you'll notice that on the wall they'll kind of glimmer. Even if you don't have a torch, you'll be able to tell that there's something around. Okay. All of a sudden, worms coming out of nowhere. Oh! Wow! That worm's got some crazy knockback. Okay. Oh, here we go. See the glimmering, whatever. Oh, that's a bat. Oh. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. That's a lot of... This is a spider... This is a spider-infested area. Oh, good. I had to build my house on top of a spider dungeon. Oh, but there's so much copper. I need it all. Oh, God. Ugh. Gross. 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 I'm scared. Cave spider. Oh, goody. They're poison. Oh. Gosh! Oh my God! I saw him. I didn't think he was coming over here. Oh, good. You saw me. Bad, bad, bad. You don't want any of this. Nope. Cause you're gonna die. Die, 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 die. Ah! You did not die. You poisoned. You poisoned. You. Oh God! Oh, there's another one. Oh no! Ah! I maybe died just a tiny bit. I was not prepared. Well, we have some ore. We'll put that in there. We have some pile of skulls. I don't know what to do with the pile of skulls. We'll put them in the... Sure. Here you go. Oh, good. Yep. Perfect. We'll leave that there for later. Okay. I desperately need more copper. Which is for iron, or for, sorry, not for iron, for copper for armor. If you could do me a favor, spider, and go away. I would be really happy. Ooh. Okay, can I have my stuff back without dying, please? Ugh. Where did the spiders even go? Ugh. I'm scared. Can you climb up the wall? I want that. I'm just gonna ignore you and pretend like you don't exist, and hopefully you do the same to me, please. I'm just here for copper, because I want armor, so that I don't die to spiders. Me. No. Don't even. Nope. You keep to your, nope. Oh, nope. Any more butts? Oh, Hopper. A rat? Oh, there's green stuff. There's so much death. Ugh. Being in here without, like, any armor at all is just asking to get my butt kicked. But I really need stuff. Okay, excuse me, can you get rid of the bones? Alright, can I, go away? There's more ores there, but also there's enemies. There's so many worms. Where are you coming from? Are you from the spiders? I keep hearing more worms. Oh, you're a bat. Never mind. Goodbye, bats. Are you okay? Nope. Oh, rats. More than one rats? Okay, rats, whatever. I don't care. You come back here, because you have hide. And I need your hide. Oh, okay. We're safe for now. Till we turn the corner and there's a spider. Boom. Alright. Ah! We're safe. Let's just heal. Okay. What's in here? Anything? Oh, copper. Yes. I don't really feel like going out there. Ah! Go away, bats. Don't scare me like that. That's cheating. I'm so scared. Like, what if I come up here and there's a spider? So much ore. I had a whole bunch of, like, iron ore that I found at the beginning, but, like, now I'm finding a whole lot of copper. Which is good because I do need copper because I need some armor and some weapons, some proper weapons. But I'm scared because I don't like spiders. And I'm scared that the spiders are just gonna pop out of the sky. What is this? Oh, there's an enemy. I hear it. Oh, it's you. No. Nope. Nope. I'm good. I'm good. Thank you. Goodbye. Nope. We're leaving. I'm not gonna die here. I have a lot of stuff. Oh, God, more worms. Go away, worms. No. Go. Oh, my God. There's so many worms underground. Hello, I don't want any. Go away. Nope. I went downstairs and there's enemies here. Excuse me. I'm just gonna sneak by you. No. Okay. Excuse me. Yeah, you're confused? I'm also confused. Honestly, I'm pretty confused. Oh God, rats. Go away, rats. I'm swinging and I'm missing. Whoa, there's 2 of them. Okay, now I'm even more confused. I somehow snuck by 2 of them and they didn't care. I'll take it. Can I go up, please? There we go. I don't want. We're back. I'm here. I have a lot more ore. Please, furnace it. Turn on. I have pizza. What'd you all have for dinner? Ooh, burger and fries. Yum. You made some avocado toast. I've never had avocado before. Okay, can I please have some armor? Or like, yeah. So we can do a blacksmith or an armor. So craft one of these and then craft one of these. One of these is the one that I need. So we can do 2 things, okay? We can either make this functional or we can make this aesthetically pleasing. And I like to go for the other one. I like to make things pretty. So one of the things about having 10,000 workbenches and them all whatever functioning the way that they do is the fact that it will make all of this stuff not super pretty if we just place them down and whatever else. So we're going to have to fix this later because I do not want to have a whole lot of just, you know, random stuff, random workbenches all around that base. I guess it's way more than 6 because this is way farther than that. So we can get a copper helm, copper boots. We don't have nearly enough copper. Maybe. My favorite weapons. dual daggers. 'Cause they have a heavy attack that launches you forward. So, yeah. Stab, 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 and then whoosh. Alright, and then a bow. And then arrows. And we're now out of arrows. Or out of rubber. Rubber? Rubble. Yo, have a good night, Scarth! Alright, let's get a chest plate. Let's not get a chest plate. Let's get a chest plate in just a second. We did not get nearly enough copper to get a full set of armor. Alright. Anyway, I'm pretty sure that I can see my character. I just need to figure out what the button is. Hey, that's not the button. Oh, V. V? No. Oh, there it is. C. Yeah. There we go. There's my character. She cute. Okay, so now we have those. And we can make a helmet or fists, but not feet. Feet take 9. So let's go for feet. Because we just need one more. There you go. So it'll automatically equip it if we're still in the menu here when we craft it. Alright. So what do we need for a helmet? We need 6. And for hands we need 5. So that's 11 more copper. But what about tools? Copper tools like a pickaxe? 3. Do we have 3? Oh, we do. But then we can't get any more armor. But I feel like a copper pickaxe is definitely the way to go. Okay. And then we need a salvager's workbench. Which is... Okay. Tanning rack? Where? I swear that there was a way to craft scissors. I don't see it anywhere, though. Not an armorer's. Maybe it's farmers? Ah, there you are. 1 iron ingot. Okay. The whole reason I came over here was for one of these. Scissors. Okay, we ate all the rubble with whatever we just did, so we're gonna need some more. Darn it. I was trying to see if I could use it to launch to go up. We'll get some mushrooms. This guy better not have killed my sheep. I swear to gosh. Check this out. Oh, a little mouse. Oh, bam. EZBZ. Hello, I'm here to cut the wool. I need some wool. Please give wool. I'm aggressive chopping. Nope, we got poop! Why do we have poop? Did I scare them so bad they pooped? Is there birch trees around here? Hey. No. There we go. That's the way it's supposed to work. Is that you attack and then it throws you backwards. But I'm in danger! Again! Here we go again! Running away from the doggos! Don't take him towards the sheep. Don't take him towards the sheep. I'm running. I'm running. I'm running. I'm running. Hi, mouse. Bye, mouse. Wait. Oh, you gone? Huh. Wait, where's my food? Can I eat a mushroom? No. Don't worry, there's berries. Again. I'm living off berries again. Uh-oh, it's getting dark. I'm always living off berries. Where's doggos? Ouch! How are you always so aggressive? Ah, he's still following me! Yeah, you run away. You run away. Yeah, that's what oh my god. Lose you lose. What's a famous archery character? Hawkeye, I guess. I'm in danger. Oh god. Oh no. Nope, 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 no. Yeah, you run. I thought so. Yeah, you're too scared of me because I'm too strong. Robin Hood might be the more popular pick. Oh yeah, that's fair. I was gonna go with Katniss Everdeen. Ah! Yikes! Yikes! Whoa! Nope, 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 nope. We're not doing this again. I'm Lord Stab and I can hear them right behind me! Oh, okay. Yeah, now you're drowning. Oh, hi, Infamous! I'm just gonna sit here for a second while they, yep, take damage. Perfect. Oh, look, it's so cute. Eating so many berries. There is a server. The server is almost up. I don't have it fully functioning yet because I need what's it called? I need a little bit more time. I'm adding a mod that allows you to claim chunks. Oh! Turkey, you lay eggs? Tetra bird. Bye-bye, frog. Fancy flower. On what engine does this run on? That is an excellent question. Hello, Mosshorn. Can I like trim your fur? I need some wool. Are you no? You know, okay. No, cannot trim you. Chicken! Chicken, do you lay eggs? Chicken and chick? Oh, they're so tiny! Look at how cute they are! It's not a new engine. From what I understand, they're supposed to be, like they were supposed to have it on a new engine, but they scrapped that after, you know, Riot and whatnot, threw them out. Birch trees! This is what I came looking for. Okay. Custom built engine? Do. I need so much birch wood. Modding capabilities, main thing. Just evolve. This is made by this is made by people who ran the kind of like the biggest modded Minecraft server. It's also more RPG based. It's yeah. Hypixel, there we go. Yeah, Hypixel. Both. Yeah, spawn rates, chunk generation, mob block ID. Yeah, this is really, really mod friendly. Like, as in, like, modding to, like, to add things to the game or change the game the way that it functions and whatnot. There's, I believe what I read was there's currently over 100 and some odd mods on CurseForge, but there's like over 2,000 mods that have been made for the game already, and it's only been in like out publicly in early access for like a week. There's a bear in here. Ooh. Can I take the bear on? Probably. Will I die? Probably. Bring it on. Oh, it's a grizzly bear. Ooh, my health. This is the important part. Oh, God. Oh, I didn't die. I'm a gamer. Someone has broken the code enough that they could get cross-compatibility with Minecraft. Yeah, they did it. They did it. I've seen it running. That was close? What? Nah, I got this. Don't worry, have faith in me. I'm just looking for more birch trees, but I don't want to cut down the whole forest. So one of the better things about these is it really is just, I don't know, I just find it's the best weapon. Well, that's a not great looking moon we got going on here. Maybe we go home and we do some mining instead. I don't know where I came from. I'm assuming it's over there. I don't want to have all the Cthulhu, please. I know that's not what it is, but I don't want... I'm going home. I'm going home. Quick, get into bed! Get into bed before the monster spawn! What is that? Is that a mouse? Oh, hey. Quick, quick, get into bed. Get into bed. I found a bunny. Look, it's a bunny. Nap time. Bye-bye before the monsters spawn. Infamous, you want to see what's below my house that I just built? Look at hang on, before I do that, before I do something stupid, lose all my stuff. I got, by the way, I have poop. I don't know what I'm supposed to do with that. Why is it always so foggy in the morning? I guess we'll put the poop with that. Oh, that makes such a gross noise. Ah! How much does the game cost? There's a couple of different packages that you can buy for it. For the base game, it's $20. You can get a collector's and like other cosmetic stuff to like kind of like a, you know, you can invest more into it if you'd like, sort of thing. Mushrooms. We'll put this in here, I guess, for now, and we'll put this here because I don't really know where else to put it. And there's also all these, so we'll put that in there. But we don't have enough wood in here either. Let's put all this in here. And if you use my code, then I get a commission for referring people to the game. So, if you're interested in picking it up, make sure to use code SAKU. If you do. Because it helps. It helps me. Stone rubble. Alright, Infamous, look what's below my base. Besides, you know, all these butts. It's dark. Hang on. Yeah. Oh. Yeah. I have one of these. Yeah, that's right. Also, Ruby's barking in her sleep behind me. So, yeah, I was trying to get stuff, and then bad things happened. I don't really know, like, I'm scared. I don't know if there's things in that stuff above me. I can't poke it and find out. I can't reach it. I don't want to build up to it. Oh, there's a spider right there. Just gonna put my torch on the ground. So I could see. I don't like it. That's a crab? You know that's a spider. I don't like it. There's a lot of them right there, and that scares me. I just don't like it. Yeah, this is there's an arachnophobia option. And I'm using it because I don't like spiders. I'm already, like, scared enough as it is with all the other stuff that I've got going on in here. Okay, if you pop out some junk when I go up here, I'm gonna lose my mind. So, don't you dare. That's all I can say. You don't like 99% bugs? Yeah, it's true. I'm here for the copper. There's so much copper in the walls. It's also dark and these things make gross noises. Do you mind not making gross noises? Ugh. If you pop anything out, I swear to God. Don't even think about it. No. Don't even think about it. Nope. 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 Green? Oh, it's just that. Rip that guy? Good. There's any more. I'm not even. I'm not even. I don't want any. Oh, there's another one. Oh, that's rude. Yeah, you run away. Yeah, you stay running away. That iron? I don't like any of this. Go away. There's so many spider webs. I'm scared. The little guy's gonna sneak up behind me and punch me in the face and I'm gonna scream. Ah! Is freaking pickaxe. Getting jump scared by my pickaxe breaking. You. No, no, no. Don't worry. I'm calm. It's fine. No, he's there. He's there. He doesn't like me. I don't like him either. It's fine. Stay back. Stay back. Goodbye. Is there anything else down here that's gonna try to kill me? I'm just looking for ores. I just want some ores. Please just let me get some ores in peace. I just want to get some stuff. If you sneak up behind me, I'm gonna die. Like, actually. What's in here? More stuff? More iron? Yo, have a good night, Rain. Oh, you got snow, Daichi. Oh, there's gonna be so many enemies on the way up. I'm so scared. I can't see anything because I didn't bring a torch. Because I left it to leave the spider area. And just some casual eyeballs above me. Oh, good. Rats. Can you not? I don't like. I know likey. Please, no bully. I'm gonna kill you, rats. I'm sorry, but also I need some glow mushrooms so I can place this down so I can see. There better not be any more spiders. Don't. Run! 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 There is! Look at this, guys! How is there more of you? There's so many! Hello? No, I'm out of, okay. It's fine. Is there like a spawner? I'm scared. I know there's definitely a guy over there. I don't like these. I don't like the sound of those. I don't like any of this stuff. No! 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 Ah! No! Ah! Ah! No! 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 What? He just popped out of the ground! Hello, rats! Goodbye, rats! You know, I'm good. Goodbye. Out! 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 I'm good. Goodbye. See ya! Hello, rabbits. Welcome back. We have piggies in a cave somewhere nearby, too. Sako said no? Sako said no on what? I don't want to allow that phrase only because I know how it can be twitched. It's fine. What? Oh, you mean the phrase I'll kill you or something like that? Yeah. I mean, this isn't YouTube, but technically I guess it is also YouTube. Let's sort this. I don't like having all this stuff in the same chest. Marco! Thank you so much for the 3 consecutive streak. Okay, so we have this here. Oh, God. Okay. Which we're going to use in the builder's workbench. And the reason is because we're going to get some cool stuff. Like, we are going to get 10 of these, 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 10 of these. Infamous! Thank you so much for the 90 months! So, what we do... Oh, we don't have a shovel. I did see that there was a shovel somewhere. But, oh, it's iron. I don't want to use iron on it. Quick small call smash. So we take this nice little area, And basically place some blocks down sporadically. It's a lot easier to do from the beginning and not, you know, after having to fix it or something like that. You just kind of sporadically throw flooring down. So I've got 15 and 15. So we'll put one there. We got one of these. So we'll put one of these there because I haven't had one of those there. We'll put one of those there. We'll have another one of these over here. This one, this one, this one, this one, and this one. Yeah, the preview placement is pretty handy. I don't remember where that was. Infamous, like how Infamous told me about it, and I don't remember how to find it again. Yeah, I know it's in your settings. I just don't know which setting. I tried to show it off earlier, but I couldn't find it. Settings, gameplay, UI, block placement preview. Ah, here we go. So oh, there's the piggies. I knew they were in a cave somewhere. I have not tried playing with the hammer tool yet. Or the shovel or anything like that. Honestly, it's been pickaxe only. I didn't realize there was a hammer tool, but mostly it's because I haven't gotten a lot of like iron or copper or anything. So I've mostly just been using the regular tools for now. I keep climbing in through the windows, which is not helping my stuff. Boop, 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 boop. Okay. I wonder if this game has slabs for wood. I haven't paid attention. Ooh, it does. You. Okay. This roof stuff is gonna be the thing that messes me up the most. I'm so used to like stone or like stairs the whole way up, which is possible, but like now there's actual roof. So I need so many. Oh, shoot. I just turned all my stuff into planks. Again? I mean, that's okay. Okay. That's fine. Overwhelmed a little bit with stuff to do. I have to make this. I have to make a second floor, but I want to put the what's it called? The roof up before I do that. But also, there's not a lot of like 3D stuff to do with blocks. Ah, that's a lie. Basalt cobble. This might be nice, actually. If I take this and I bring it outside, we can put, oh, okay. It's a little bit thicker than I wanted. Eh. I'm not sure how much I like it. It also doesn't connect. Okay, big sad. Right. So far, windows are looking good. How are we doing on doors? Not these. Okay. Take these out. Take this one out. And put that one here. Perfect. Things are looking good. Flooring. So it's not super boring. Having different designs is pretty good. So this one goes out more than the side. Oh, it does not look very good. It looks so boxy. Is there a way to, like, do anything? Like, there's a light wood beam that might do it. I don't know. I need way more wood. Like, way more wood. I have to be careful because it won't, unless I have wood in my inventory, when I'm selecting for something to use wood nearby, it will kind of determine whatever wood it wants to use. And so I like to make sure that if I'm going to be using something for building, I want to make sure that I'm doing that first, placing it down, so that it can't be, you know, picked up by this. And then, yeah. So we got one there and one there. One there, one there, one there, one there. All the rest of these get filled in with those. Well, bam! It's looking good. I'm like, how do I keep getting dirt in my inventory? Oh yeah, I guess I'm, you know, digging it up. Dirt. Or not dirt, whatever, these are wood. I wish it would let me, if I replace something, that it would put it in my hand rather than, yeah. Oh yeah, let's go put this outside with the rest of them. I'm just gonna add it to the shrine of bones I have over here. Oh my god, I can climb it. Hey, Crate! I'll just climb in through the window real fast. Go to bed. In 25 minutes. Okay, move my bed somewhere. Not there. Okay, we'll just put this here for a minute. Yo, a 10 streak! Oh yes, the pillar skulls. Yeah, you can climb up it too. I'm assuming that when it's nighttime is when the glowing butterflies and stuff show up. I was like, oh my god, is that is the crow sound IRL or is that like in the game? But yeah, it's in the game. It's looking so good. I'm super proud of myself. Me and my cruddy bed. Have you stolen a door yet? No. I do want to, but I don't know where the door is that I want to steal. And also, I don't want to steal too much before people get into the game. Besides me, right? Like, this is a community server. So I don't want to steal everything before people can get in here. I also noticed that I could, in fact, build the same door that I stole before, so... yeah. For a second, I was worried. I didn't know what that was, but it's in fact a torch. There is too much of the same type of wood here. We need one of these. Boop, 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 boop. Let's put one there, one there, one there. Perfect. Okay. Yeah. So, problem number 1. Birchwood seems to be over here and over here and over here. And so it's a pain to go get at all. And I don't want to take it away from everybody. So I'm doing my best to not. It looks like south of me is the desert. Maybe. Good design for my character? Thank you. Look. Wait, hang on. Let me take off my armor. There you go. This is my character. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with her. Oops. And a shirt. And how are we doing on this? Oh, do we not have any more charcoal? Oh, I'm surprised. I mean, I guess probably not. There's a lot of, other stuff. So I can't upgrade my furnace. Can I upgrade? Oh, where'd my workstation go? I still can't. Okay. Any stone? I guess. Cobblestone doesn't count? Maybe it's too far away? Maybe cobblestone doesn't count. Oh yeah, it does. Spitting image of the face cam? I don't know about that. But yeah, this is Hytale. It is a game that I am. Yeah, it's a game that I am partnered with. They have. I'm a. What's a creator for? There we go. I'm a creator for it. So it's pretty exciting. I'm excited. Yeah. If you want to get the game, it's code Saku. And I get a commission for you picking it up. So I'm wondering if medium hide is from the bear? There's light hide and heavy... Oh, no, heavy hide is definitely the bear. Okay, so I'm gonna need to kill more bears. I hope that animals respawn. I don't know if they do or not. I need logs. They're in here. I did that again. One of those. Oh, heck. Okay, I wasn't expecting that to happen. Oh, it's gonna do it either way. Okay. Let's not do that then. I'm just gonna put everything like random in here. And then we'll put all these broken tools in here. I was hoping that by lying down I would just get health back, but no. Oh, goody. Nope. Oh, nice! Oh my god, I'm such a gamer! I wonder if animals respawn. Immediate bear. That's a problem. This might be a mistake. Oh boy! It's a mistake! Oh my god! Pain! Pain! Oh god, rats! I'm about to die to a rat! I'm definitely dying here. Decisions were made. It's fine. Hello, I need some more of this. I can't see anything. It's dark and it's dark. I don't have any torches and I don't have anything to make torches. Oh good, we're in the spider area. Love this for me. It's okay. I know that I'm like probably dying slowly, but I at least will, I'll at least have a good bunch of loot when I do come back. Okay. That's, scary. There's a torch. This is not a torch. Where am I? No tree sap? I can't get tree sap down here. I can't see anything because I'm so dying. Ugh. I'm so scared. It's hard to see anything. I hear rats and bugs and bats. There's definitely gonna be spiders. I'm scared. I can feel my life flash before my eyes. But at least I'm gonna pick up all the loot. Gosh, there's so much of it. I'm not going any deeper. Absolutely not. I'm gonna use my jumping ability to get over here. You finished dinner. I'm jealous. Oh man, it's a rat. I'm so lost. I have no idea where I am. Ooh. But I found iron, which is really good. But if a rat or anything comes over here, like that guy, I am dead. So, oh, goody. Ah! I need to go underground. Oh, it's so over there. But the thing is it really, is it really that bad if I kill the bear now? Like, I got more health. There's a lot of stuff I gotta cook. Okay, we're bringing a torch. Because I need to... Well, it doesn't matter because I can't hold it in my hand with the daggers. So... I would like to have... Level 1 Predator be like. Hey, chillin'. How's it going? Okay. Let's go. You know what we should do is we should make an actual campfire and, like, you know, make some food. Some real food. But it's really, I don't know, it's difficult because I'm trying to save food so that I can, yeah, do other things. We have so much wild meat. We should just cook it. All right. We're going to turn on the fire. We're going to have a lot of cooked wild meat. So I'm not dying immediately. I'm hungry, so I was having a bite of food. Okay, so I need gloves and a helmet. I feel like that would help me from dying, maybe. Plant fiber. Do I not have any plant fiber? Oh, it's probably over here. Take care of yourself, Infamous. Okay, we got hands. We got helmet. We craft one helmet. Where'd it go? Did I not craft it? Okay, so now we need hands. Now we have armor. A full set of armor. Now nothing can stop us. Not even a bear. We'll bring some torches. Sticks. I'm bringing a ton of torches. Okay. Now, you watch. We're taking this bear out. Going back down in that hole. As soon as I figure out where the hole is. Where was the hole? Where's the bear hole? I definitely heard a bear and then climbed into a hole to chase after it. Did somebody close up the hole? What happened? Am I losing my mind? Does anybody know what I'm talking about? I'm confused. Where's the hole? Oh, right here. All right, there's definitely a bear in here. I can't see. Oh yeah, take that. I got some moss. Oh. Eating some meat. Okay, now I gotta get my stuff back. Oh, iron? You know, I'm gonna need all these things to stop yelling at me through the walls, okay? Yeah, I don't want to go that way. Oh, what's this? Another rat? Are you the rat that killed me? Rude. I'm scared. Oh, look at all my stuff on the ground. Why does it look like something exploded here? I don't think this is my stuff. I think something exploded there. Like, actually. Because... Ooh. 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 Excuse me? What is that? Whatever that is, I don't want any part of it. That looks like something not supposed to be there. Maybe it's okay. Whew. Okay, maybe I do want a part of it. That was a little scary. Don't care. Whatever's down there, don't want it. Where is my stuff? Oh! Go away. I don't think that was the thing that, like, I don't think those were the things that were mine. Day 13, day 11, day 16. Is it below? Did I go down? Where's my stuff? Because the other stuff, it said that I picked up was boom powder and other things. I'm pretty sure that's not what killed me. Oh, good. Well, we're back here, so at least I know where I am. I don't think I picked all my stuff up, because I don't think that was my stuff on the ground. I swear to gosh. Oh, it's you. I'm sorry. Worm guy. I'm so confused. I don't understand. I guess it was right here. Because that was where I picked everything up. So I guess, I don't know. I thought that it said that I dropped a bunch more stuff, but maybe not. Oh well. Well, we know where we are, so... I came down here to kill a bear. I killed a bear, so now we leave. Ooh. Loot? And more stuff? What's down here? More copper? If I just heard you can... No, no rats. Listen, last time I dealt with rats, I got eaten. And I'm not even... Things spawning behind me. We're leaving. We're not doing this. Nope. We're leaving. Goodbye. I'm not interested in being down here anymore. I want to build a house. As soon as I figure out how to leave. I don't remember how I came in here. This way. If there's a bear up here again, I swear to gosh. What? Just... Uh-oh. Getting dark. I hear the darkness. But loot, no. No. Goblins assemble. We'll put that in there, and those in there, and those go in there. A soil pathway half slab. Huh. Interesting. Alright, butterflies? We look for the butterflies, because when the butterflies are on the, in the air... Okay, that's gotta be nighttime. You can't tell me it's not. The moon is in the sky. Alright, so tomorrow, this is gonna be up and running completely. I'm gonna open it up, and put the details in the Discord for... community games night. So that will be after the Mario Kart 8 and after Gartic Phone, okay? So yeah. I feel like this might be a pretty good place to wrap up for